Hello everyone, welcome. I just found this neat little game that I wanted to show you guys. I found it on mobile, and it's freemium there. It's like free, but you can pay to unlock more like tribes you can play as, which is definitely like a pay to win thing because the tribes are stronger than the starting ones, but not like outrageously so. But I was like, I refuse to ever give them $1 for pay to win like in-app stuff. But then on Steam, they've got the same thing for like 15 bucks, and it's like way more than I ever would have spent on the phone. But it's like, I don't know, an ethical model that I'm okay with. So I got it. It's basically, it's like a really small scale Civilization style game. Kind of right, the the 4X, what is it? Explore, expand, exploit, exterminate is kind of the classic 4. So you play as one of these tribes, and you can like buy DLC to unlock these, which I don't want to do. Not that it's super expensive. And the game lasts for just 30 turns, and you're like trying to maximize your score. So who have I not won as yet? I mean, obviously a lot of people. These first 5, I would say, are the most fair because they start with one of the 5 most basic starting techs, and these other guys start with like more advanced techs or some weird bonus. So I think they're probably stronger than the others, but it's not like I'm good. So we'll play as these, I don't know, is climbing really good? I hate climbing. We'll play these guys. They're like fairly basic. Their flavor is like, each tribe has like a starting terrain. And a starting technology typically. So we start in the winter, but it's all just style. It doesn't matter. Like this is the same as any other mountain. This is the same as any other plains with fruit on it. And it's just like fruit flavored to look like our stuff. And so I believe like good players can win games with like 9 crazy AIs or something, which is like a little bit much for me. I found playing with like 3 hard AIs to be pretty tough. 3 normal AIs, like, it was just an absolute stomp. I demolished them. So I think what we're going to do is play with hard AIs, but like maybe 2. Just so there's maybe just 1. We'll just split the map in half. There'll be a little bit more room to explore. And a game of this seems to take like, I don't know, definitely more than an hour. So I'll probably be splitting up this video or this recording into multiple videos, but not less than 3 hours and you finish a whole game. I wouldn't want to play that long on my phone, but you can if you want. Anyway, so the map is just 16 by 16, and there's only like one kind of currency, which is these stars. Everything you do gives you more stars or costs stars. Units don't move very far. This is the entire tech tree. There's like 5 basic technologies, which each expand out into 3 or 4 more. Actually, all of them expand out into 3 except 4, except organization, which only expands to 3. Don't really know why. We can see our capital produces 2 stars per turn, and we have this warrior here. This ruin is a valuable thing to go explore, so let's go do that. And we could end the turn, but the main way you increase size of your cities is by harvesting resources nearby, which you know how to harvest. We start out knowing about hunting, so we can harvest wild animals. And each one produces 1 population bar. Well, we can actually look. I say, what if I were to hunt this? It costs 2 stars, and it gives you 1 population. And so a city of size 1 costs 2 population, and it's like a linear growth. The next one will cost 3, the one after that will cost 4. To go any bigger than that, it costs 5, etc., etc. And bigger cities give you more resources, and they also allow you to own more units. Plus, you just get points, and that's the whole point. Get points. So we'll hunt this up to get 1 population, and we'll hunt this up to get another. And now our city's growing. And we could take either Explore, which reveals a large number of tiles in this area, or Workshop. I feel like Explore is a good kind of mid-game thing. It might be good early game, maybe not. But when your total number of stars that you're gaining is 3, adding 1 is like pretty insane, right? If you're kind of trying to snowball, and so increasing your economy by a third in the early game seems pretty valuable. Anyway, let's go step on this ruin, and we can't actually do anything with it until next turn. Because it cost a turn to explore, and we spent a turn moving there. So what we're going to do is just train up a warrior here. We have enough technology that we could, enough stars we could learn new technology. They only cost 5. But I couldn't then do anything with it. So likewise, I don't quite have enough to harvest all 3 of these guys, and harvesting only 2 of them doesn't really do anything for me. So we're just going to get another warrior, the only unit we know about, to explore with. Now there's sort of a choice. We could consider doing something wacky, like researching a technology before exploring here. Because, you know, one thing that can happen from a ruin is you get new technology, and if you have bigger ones unlocked, you get more value out of it. But I wouldn't really be able to do anything with those technologies anyway. And what I really want to spend my stuff on right now is harvesting these guys. Actually, let's do that. Let's just hunt everything. And every time you increase your city, you get more resources per turn, and also you get some points, but also there's like some bonus you get to choose from. And the one for a city that gets to level 3 is you can either choose a wall, kind of useless since there's no one near us right now, or just give me 5 stars once. So we're back up to 6. And with not much else to do, I could research the technology first, but I'm not going to. Instead, I'll just send my warrior away, start exploring, try to find new places to build cities, and I could research a tech, but I want to build another warrior, so that's what I'll do. So let's just explore these ruins. Oh, we got 3 population in the capital. Great. Okay. Well, so we're almost to the next step already, but we're not yet. And there's nothing left to do this turn. Let's pass. Now, there's a couple things we could do here. I think there are 2 things that look sort of reasonable. One is we could research climbing, which gives you the ability to walk on mountains. And that looks like sort of weak. You know, there's a mountain here, but how important really is it to climb on it? Well, when you're standing on top of a mountain, you can see twice as far. So it would help us spot... you don't ever get to build like settlers to place a city down. Rather, there are like villages, and you conquer them. And so you have to find where those villages are, and so like scouting is important. But I think it would be more valuable to focus on this city that we already have, and just give it... research the technology needed to harvest these fruits so that we can make the city bigger. Given that we're doing that, I'm going to send this guy down. This is like a square grid, not a hex grid, which I kind of frown upon. But so it does make a difference. Like, I don't know. There's some reasons that this grid shape is wrong, but I don't remember what they are. So there's a city or a village. We can walk in here to conquer it. The reason I chose down instead of up is that this guy is going to find it more convenient to go over here. And this warrior is probably going to like want to grab this mountain. So we've used up 3 of our 4 like unit slots. We could build another unit here, but I'm kind of overrun with warriors at the moment anyway, so it's not doing me that much good. I'd rather save the stars for something else. So we're going to research organization, which gives us the power to harvest fruit. And then just grab some of these fruits to make the city bigger. And we can choose either get 3 population immediately, or make your city's radius larger by 1. I see plenty of stuff around the city that I'd like to have access to. It'll sort of like... You know, this city down here will be a little bit less exciting if the big one is using some of its space, but that's life. We get access to this and, you know, these. So cool. And really, we could harvest something now, but it doesn't really help, so, like, why? Instead... Or we could train another warrior, but I don't think we really need that, and I don't know what I'll need the stars for next turn, but like I might need them or something, whereas I don't think I do need the warrior, or the warrior. So conquering a city takes a turn, so we have to wait, just like exploring the ruins. Send this guy over here. Yep, there's another city. Not a big surprise. Or village. And we don't have enough stars to, like, gain 5 population at the moment. So I think it is fine to grab climbing. Just so I can go this way and not have to take kind of a lame path. Oh, this is the reason why square grids are bad. Is that suppose that I wanted to go here, right? I can walk straight to it, or I can like walk around this way. And those are, in both cases, I'm like moving more or less towards the thing I'm never moving away from it, right? But one path is slower than the other. On a hex grid, that doesn't happen. Is my recollection? If you're moving... Like, it's hard to move parallel to a thing as opposed to moving away from it. I don't know. I don't remember. But anyways, we're going to go up here and get a look at the countryside. Turns out, going this way would have been fine. But who knows? Maybe I would have gone this way instead and then been sad. So now we know kind of what's going on in the area. I have enough stars. I could build a warrior. But again, I seem to have enough for the moment. Okay. Now, one thing, we want to take this city, but the thing in this game that tries to discourage you from taking too many cities is that the more you have, the more stars each technology costs. Everything else in the costs the same, but technology gets more expensive. So if you're going to grab a city, you want to at least consider, is there any technology that I want first? And I think we could go for Forestry here. That actually looks nuts. I maybe should have taken it last turn. Forestry allows you to clear forest, turning a forest into a field and giving you 2 stars. It also lets you build lumber mills, which are like, you can use forests. You can spend 2 stars on a forest to gain population, the same as harvesting fruit or animals. But here, our capital has just an absolute truckload of completely useless forest. And I just want to chop it all down, or at least a lot of it, to get a more immediate bonus. And I don't know, I'll like leave these 4 maybe. There are some reasons I might want a lumber mill someday, but I'm not really expecting that to happen. Okay, and now we have enough that we can... Let's see. We could... What's going on in this? How much... I have access to 4 resources, not these, because they're part of this other city. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. So let's grab another technology while it's still cheap, I think. Like riding. I don't look like I need fishing anytime soon. There's no fish that near me. And I guess we could grab something more expensive, like farming? But this is the only farmable area nearby, right? So, like, the only other more expensive thing I could go for might be... Oh my god, you can get mathematics for 7? If you beeline for it? This thing is normally insanely expensive when I get to it. But I guess I usually take it quite late. 7! Catapults are very strong military units. But there's only one other enemy on the map, so... And I'm not gonna, like, do the lumber mill thing, or the sawmill, anytime soon, so... I think I actually don't want it. Yeah, I think we'll just take riding to, like... Riders are offensively focused units who are faster than ordinary warriors. And that... being faster will help me, like, cover all this ground more quickly, hopefully? Not sure. Anyway, let's grab it. And only now found the city. Let me just double check these 2 squares. Yeah, they are... Since my capital reached them first, it claimed these grounds, and now this one is only this size. Okay. Why did I think this was good? Right, what we're going to do is make this get a bit bigger. Take the workshop again. And then, I don't have enough resources here that I can easily upgrade this place. I could if I put a lumber mill in, but those kind of suck. So what I'm going to do instead is chop down this forest, which I was going to probably do anyway. And now, there's enough going on in my capital that I can upgrade that. Just by picking up all these dang fruits. And once you get to level size, I don't know, what is this, 6? 5? Size 5? Oh, it says so right here. This is kind of the last set of upgrades. You just get offered the same thing every time. The super unit is a powerful military thing. I've never even taken it. I don't really know what the deal is. But in a high score mode, which is what we're playing, you generally want the park. It's a reasonable number of points, 200, I guess. And also, the first park you build lets you get lets you build the Park of Fortune anywhere you like to give another city 3 population and get 400 points. So there's a number of these monuments you can build for making certain achievements. Park of Fortune. Oh, I should have done this in a slightly different order, I guess. I forgot I would be getting Park of Fortune. It would have been slightly better to harvest the fruits first and then place Park of Fortune, because I wouldn't have to chop down the trees necessarily, but I don't mind chopping them down. It's not the end of the world. Let's just move these guys while we're talking here. Anything else that I want to do? I don't see an easy way to grow this city, even if I were willing to use a lumber mill. So I don't think we're going to do that. The only thing we could really do would be to train a rider here, I guess. That's actually a good idea. Let's do that. He'll catch up with the frontier that my warriors are exploring. So, and we're starting to broaden enough that we'll want more than just a couple units exploring. Okay, so do we want any new technologies? As I said, like, farming is a thing we could do. We could build a farm here. Oh, I didn't notice. Since I learned about climbing mountains, I discovered the metal resources inside of mountains now. Some of them have it, some of them don't. Just like, you know, some forests have wild animals and some don't. So we could mine this. That would be kind of cute, I guess. What? 2, 4, 5. Still not quite enough to increase my capital size, so I would need a lumber mill. Could well be worth it, but not necessarily in a rush to do it. What else might I want? Well, okay, mining, I guess. Yeah, maybe I should grab mining before I put down any new cities. We could also go for roads, which let you build roads to connect up your empire. Gives you a couple bonuses, and you can move faster, obviously. Also, you get population for connecting stuff to your capital. But I think for now, just mining is fine. And let's grab these cities. Cool. And I guess let's continue exploring with this warrior. Oh, I was gonna say, so we found the ocean, but no, there's actually a mountain here we can jump on. So maybe the land continues. We'll see. I want to make one of these cities bigger. I don't know that it really matters which one. Let's take this one since it looks like it has an easier time getting larger still. Actually, let's do both. Yeah, I can do both. We chop down this forest. That lets us hunt here, and then we chop down this forest. And then we harvest this fruit. Great. Who still has moves to make? My rider. I'm thinking we want to head over to this direction, probably. I still don't totally understand the movement speed model. Like, mountains and forests kind of are hard to move through, but also kind of not, in a way I don't understand. Like, they have 2 movement. Why can't you just move here, here? Like, you can move here, here, and if you were next to the mountain, you could move onto it. I don't really understand why your second move can't be into a mountain, or like if that's even what the deal is. But okay, I guess I have to accept it. And this is the most efficient move for the warrior here. Yeah, they both can go to the same 2 spaces. I'm actually going to send the rider here. Guess it doesn't matter much, huh? Okay, there's a ruin out there in the ocean. It's going to take a long, long, long time before I can ever get out there. So I'm really not too planning to do much about it. I guess I'll send my rider up here? Or my warrior up here? This seems to be the way forward. Maybe you can go this way, but quite possibly not. What else do I need to do this turn? Should probably work on population somehow, right? This is all part of my capital, which is a bit annoying. I wish a little bit of it were over here, because then I could increase the size of this thing more cheaply. Oh, there's an animal here. Okay. Okay, so I can easily enough grab these 3 animals. And I don't know. 17 stars? Not clear what to work on. Roads? To make it easier to get more explorers out there, maybe? We could also, like, work on temples. Temples are kind of a points gaining... I don't know. They're very expensive upgrades you can place in restricted terrains. This is a mountain temple, so it goes in mountains. It gives you 1 population, but it's very, very expensive at 20 stars. But the earlier in the game you build it, the more points you get out of it. So it's kind of like a... I can never like really tell when to start building them. Usually you have better things to invest your points in for quite a while. So farming? Maybe? I don't know. I think roads is the best bet. That or math. To try to do some weird lumber mill shenanigans. Farming would let me increase the size of this city, though, so I guess that's worth something. I mean, I couldn't do it now, but soon. Alright. Now, let's see. Does this go anywhere? Oh, it does! Very nice. Okay, cool. Well, cool. I guess I wish I had sent this warrior over. If I'd sent a warrior here, I'd be a little happier. Because then I could put the warrior here while the rider could go exploring. But I guess it doesn't really matter which one goes exploring very much, since you can't move quickly into unexplored territory. I kind of wish you could give multi-turn directions and just go over here as quick as you can. I guess. Well, okay, let's build up this city. And we want population growth. Border growth wouldn't give me anything except that one wild animal down there. Yeah, we don't even have enough woods that we could spend 2 of them turning this into a better place with a lumber mill. I don't know which way to send this guy. Probably up here? Give me like a rider here, though. So we can explore a bit more over here. I still don't need fishing for anything. A port would be kind of nice, but I would need to research all the way to sailing and then build a dang port. I'm not in any hurry to do that. And also expand my borders, so... I don't know, there's not really anything I want at the moment. And I still can't easily increase the size of my capital or any other cities. So I guess I'll just float the resources and see if I can come up with any good use for them in the future. Anyone solve moves? They're all done, right? Why is it not telling me it's okay to end turn? What am I missing? This guy. Not that I want to end turn right now, I'm just like kind of thought I'd moved everyone. I probably want to do some tech or upgrade a city or something. Roads still seem reasonable. Actually, yeah, roads would be a good way to get this city finished, wouldn't it? Sort of. Yeah, let's learn roads. And it's pretty cheap to connect up. It gives you, each city that connects to your capital gives you 1 population in that city and in the capital. And it lets you move more quickly. Oh, right, but you can't put roads in some mountains. Maybe mountains with stuff in them? I don't really know. But some mountains you can. I don't really know which ones are allowed and which ones aren't. It's a mystery. Anyway, we'll connect up, I guess, here. And here? And now the capital's in good shape. To increase in size again. And we can get this going with just a lumber mill, which, you know, I don't love lumber mills, but I do love my cities getting larger. Get them parks. Points matter. It's really the whole goal of the thing. Alright, we only have 2 resources left. I don't see anything compelling to do with them. Yeah, we can't really easily finish this either, right? I guess we could chop down a forest here. Yeah, I should do that. Now I can gather this fruit. Oh, this lumber mill goes to the capital, not to this. You fool. Alright, whatever. That is inefficient. I shouldn't have spent 2 resources here. Until I can see that I would actually get a payoff from it. Alright, we're about to grab 2 more cities, so now's a good time to learn some technology. Math honestly seems like the best thing we have going at the moment. One thing I haven't... Oh, destroy. Remove any building. Right, I was thinking this was a different thing. Destroy a building. So if you build something and you don't like it, you can build something else. I just try to plan ahead and haven't really had any occasions when I've wanted to destroy something very badly. So that's not very useful. I guess we could consider, like, heading into archery just to get spiritualism, to get like forest temples? Maybe? I don't really want temples at the moment. We could take meditation just because it's a small map. Pacifism would be pretty easy to, or a small number of enemies. Pacifism would be an easy way to get a monument, right? Or like we might want to build a sawmill, which is like it likes being next to lumber mills. We could put one here, would be the idea. To make the capital get bigger by 3 again, but like, does that really matter? Not really. I don't know. I'm finding that having no opponents is giving me less of a direction than I usually have. Usually at this point, I'm wanting to pick up something kind of military because there's enemies to deal with. Okay, well, let's go meditation. Sure. It also means we could grab philosophy, which makes it cheaper to learn new technologies. Sure, why not, I guess? Oh, could I learn another? I could learn fishing. It's about to get quite a bit more expensive, and I might want it before too long. Okay, let's get fishing. On the other hand, I now can't make these bigger, so I don't know. I don't have enough resources left to actually grow these cities the way I would have liked. See, this time he could make his second move onto a mountain. It's just bizarre to me. So I don't know how it works. I could like chop down some forests to grow a city, but I'm not that excited about it. This Urork is going to be a huge city. Look at all these deposits of minerals near it. Good place to put a forge here. Forges benefit from being near mined out mountains. Yeah, this is fine. But see, he can only go this far this time. I don't understand why. Okay, so here's a new kind of terrain. Non-forest, non-snow dwellers live there. So this is our enemy, apparently, is the kind of undead enjoying people. I forget what their deal is. We'll see. But anyway, they just have different flavors of everything. Everything looks different, but it's still just a forest with wild animals. Just like anything else. Okay, we can invest a ton of resources into growing cities this turn. And we, of course, want the workshop. No real reason to explore at this stage. And mining costs 5, but gives you 2 population. So there you go. We get some population back. So how much can we grow this? Can we get 9? Because 9 would be growing 3 times. 9 would be, I guess, 3 of these for 3 and 3 of these for 6. That's 15, 21. I'm short, but I'll get more resources when this grows. Yeah, I should be fine. I mean, in principle, did I really need to plan it out? Maybe not. But at this point, I would want to know, should I be spending only 2? Or should I be spending the full 5? Well, you spend the 5 only if you get the advantage from it. Otherwise, you put it off. And knowing that I actually can make the city grow even more is... Oops. Oh, I wonder if that was a mistake, actually. If I shouldn't have harvested that fruit. No, I definitely should. But I maybe shouldn't put the mine down. Because what I should think about is... I should be connecting this up by road to get my last population, right? That's cheaper and all than like doing this. Well, it's a bit more expensive, I guess. collecting this and spending 2 roads is a tiny bit more expensive than this, but it gets me a road, which is like obviously a nice advantage. And it makes my capital bigger, which eventually the capital will pay off. Oh, do we want to be even larger? No, because we'd only be taking land away from this other city we're about to get. Oh man, if I just mined this out, I could get yet another... Sure. I didn't plan that far ahead. If I had, I should have grabbed this this forest wild animal instead first. Hang on, no. I want to build a mine here. This city just, like, got gigantic instantly. I told you it was going to be huge. You are going here, just looking for stuff along the edge of the map. We found a ruins. Great. Who can still move? You? Yeah. I don't really know what to do with this guy. Here? You can still move. Alright, let's get exploring. You can still move. Let's go up here. Keep exploring along the edge. And we'll just stop on this city, I guess. Still don't understand how mountains behave, as I have previously told you. But I wish that I did. Okay, now, what are we going to do with all of our money? We could connect this up by roads. Or, not easily, because there's... I just connected up through here, which is fine. But there's no real reason to. It wouldn't... Getting one more population doesn't help, so I should find something I can do that actually gives me an advantage at the moment. Which I guess is going to be a technology, right? I guess philosophy? To unlock literacy, basically? Maybe I should have just put down a temple, I don't know. Smithery is one of the things on my list to research because A, you get a swordsman, which is like kind of one of the most powerful military units you can have. But also you get a forge, which gives you population for being near mines, which is cool because, mostly because of this spot here, where you could build a forge to give you 6 population, which would grow the city all by itself. For just like 5 stars. But we have to spend the 18 on smithery first, so it's like kind of a bummer, but you can reuse it. Like, you know, this city will also want a forge, like here. So it won't go to waste. You can only build 1 forge per city, so you can't double up on that. But this city would like a forge here, so yeah, I think smithery will be great for us pretty soon. I haven't actually ever built a mind bender. I don't want one now, it's just like, they're interesting. Apparently they take away enemy units somehow. When you attack them, you just like take over their unit, I guess. It seems very strong, but I assume the problem is protecting them so that they can actually get into that position. They have very little defense. Sure. Okay, we'll end the turn here. And grab some technologies before we grab some cities. Smithery. Actually, maybe that's the only one I want. Because I want to spend the rest of my money on investing in cities and things like that. Oh, it's only 1 city. This is a ruins. Okay, we learned about free spirit. So that lets us build temples on ordinary ground and also gives us permission to throw away a unit to get back some of its cost. You kind of have like a unit that's no longer useful, like warriors or something. And we unlocked knights, which are like better riders. Very powerful attack and very fast-moving attack-focused units, but still quite bad on defense. Persist can keep attacking as long as it kills its victims. Wow, okay. Riders already have a cool like movement ability, which is after it's attacked, it can move again. So you attack something and then you run away, is the idea. So your low defense doesn't matter as much. But kind of the more important part of Chivalry is the ability to burn a forest, turning a forest into a field which you can build crops on. And that's more efficient than building lumber mills, kind of. It's denser anyway. And there's also this construction ability where you can build a windmill that likes to be next to farms. So in principle, you can if you are really investing heavily in things, you can spend stars to turn a nothing field into a forest, then burn the forest down, and then there's crops on it, and then you can build a farm on it. But that costs you like 15 to do. But it's a way to get population out of totally barren fields, which are otherwise useless. And then if you build enough such farms, you can build windmills next to them and get a bunch more population. But that's like a big investment. I don't know. I think construction is the main thing I might be interested in here. I really see very few crops, though. Maybe I should be taking Chivalry, actually. There's a ton of forests around here, and if I don't want to cut them down, maybe it would be better to turn them into crops. Sure, let's do that. I've never tried it before. It should be fun. Oh, but we were looking at maybe I should just... Yeah, I should just spend my resources this turn on making this city bigger. It'll be a bit more expensive. Like right now it's 18. What's it going to be after I do this? 20. So it cost me 2 resources. I'm going to get more than 2 from investing in better stuff this turn. So let's just hunt the animals. Yeah, I'm sort of regretting my choice to play only one opponent, but I thought I don't know. 3 opponents, the turns get pretty, complicated pretty quickly, and it would just make things take forever. Let's see, maybe I shouldn't have grabbed those fish. Maybe I should have just connected up for a similar cost, but with better benefit. Well, let's put down the forge here, I guess. Pretty good, huh? And who do I still have that can move? You? Maybe hang out here, and maybe I'll put a port down at some point to let me start exploring the coast. I'd have to learn to sail, which is a bummer, but eventually I'll do it. Actually, this space here, I want to put a forge anyway, so let's do that now. And we'll grow the borders here. There's lots of unexplored area nearby. Cool, a ton of farmable cropland, which is nice. And in fact, we can't quite grow bigger this turn. I guess we can if we chop this forest down. But I kind of have a dream of turning these forests into crops and then building a gigantic windmill right here. So let's chop down a further away forest that doesn't seem to be doing much of anything. I guess unsurprisingly I've chopped all those down already, huh? This one's no good, right? Or it's not amazing? Sure. Now I have enough resources that I can just harvest all this stuff. Alright, pretty good city to have just founded. That's what happens when you get like a big engine and there's no enemies to spend the resources on, I suppose. It's not even really an engine. It's, you know, that's too ambitious a term. We just have like an economy would maybe be a better one. Who hasn't moved? They're highlighted in blue, but it's like always hard to visually spot that. This rider hasn't moved. Okay, let's go here. Connecting to server? I've never seen that message before. Why can't this rider go like to either of these spaces? Does he not like moving through other units? But even then he could go here and then here, right? Is it because this is a forest? I don't know, it's a mystery. Okay. So now this guy can grab this city, and that frees this guy up to keep exploring next turn. Alright, so I think we want to pick up chivalry to turn forests into crops. Seems better than anything else we can do at the moment. Although, I don't know. Maybe I should have taken mathematics. My whole, like... I claimed I was going to try turning these into lumber mills and then putting a thing, but... I don't know. Why don't I just burn them down instead? Answer, because my capital doesn't really need a bunch more population. I don't know. Let's just build some farms up here. And I can't quite burn one of these down and then rebuild a farm, huh? A little annoying. This forest isn't doing much of anything. There you go. Nice big city out here. Who can still move? Probably this guy, right? Yeah. Let's just leave him here. He's not hurting anybody. Ah, indeed. We went 5 turns without attacking someone, so we can build the Altar of Peace. Where do I need 3 more population? Obviously, Butov might want such a thing. Maybe this city will, though, actually. I can't go there. Why not? I don't understand the movement rules. Oh, that's a warrior. You can go there. Okay. That's good. I was kind of annoyed about that, but I was wrong. Okay, so we actually the map is cleft in twain. Do we have the larger half or the smaller half? It kind of looks like the smaller half, but it's hard to tell. You don't know how far the ocean goes. All right, so we need to start investing in sailing and stuff, huh? Okay. Well, that should be exciting. Let's chop down this forest and learn construction to put a windmill in there. Cool. Now, if we burn this forest down, we'll actually get 3 population out of this. 2 from the farm and 1 from being next to the windmill. Or the windmill being next to a farm, I should say. What else to do this turn? It's hard to say. You know, I maybe should have been working on this city a bit sooner. It's not that hard to get up to size 5, and it's nice to do so. Size 6 is kind of the sweet spot because it's the same upgrade as 7, 8, and 9, but it costs you fewer population to get there. And it's now not too hard to do that by burning this down, for example. Or actually, this is a lumber mill, or a lumber hut, so we could conceivably like make this a logging town. Yeah, actually, let's just do that. Grab the fruit, build a couple lumber mills, lumber huts. And in a minute, we'll put a... Oh, I didn't get mathematics yet. Okay. Anyway, this city sucks a lot, so I think I'll give it actually the altar of peace. Now all it needs is roads to connect up to get bigger, and then I'll pretty much just leave it there. Who can still move? It's this guy. Okay. I wish it would like make it easier to see who can still move if you're missing someone or something. Oh well. So this clearly was an inefficient turn. I just like put down a forest here thinking it would be smart, and it didn't actually do anything. If I'd spent the resources on roads here instead, then I would be getting the connected up benefit sooner. So like here, I dropped some stars on the floor, kind of. And so that's, you know, one reason I won't end up getting a great score. Oh, also, we get the bazaar now. I didn't realize that was our 5th city connected up. We get another monument for that. I don't really want either, to be honest. I guess I'll take the population. Maybe put another monument in here, actually. Just like whatever. Keep growing that one. Get my cheap park, even if I wasted 1 population. And I guess we want to grab sailing now before it gets more expensive. In fact, let's put a port here. And I can't grab any more technologies, so let's just grab this city. I guess we'll grow it with a farm. Nothing else really in range. And hop on that boat. I don't know. I mean, I kind of want another port down here, but I can't afford it yet. You're going to keep exploring. Unsurprisingly, nothing up there. But you do get points for exploring, if nothing else. And there's a monument for exploring the whole map. I think this is the only guy left who can still move. Roads to connect up? Not yet. Doesn't really do anything yet. Cool, so we can now move, and we can upgrade it to a ship which has better combat values, but we're not really facing any combat yet, so let's go exploring. Okay, looks like there's actually an ocean dividing us, perhaps. Really feeling dumb about putting the second altar here, because I've now completely... The port, if I had planned carefully, the port would have done enough. Ah, we met the enemy. And they gave us some resources. They give you a technology if they have one that you don't, so we're like clearly miles ahead of these guys, and yeah. Playing on normal, they just like kind of suck. No, this is hard? Okay. I thought, like, I know 3 hard ones. I get into difficult combat situations, and so I thought they were like reasonably okay, but apparently he's just junk. He hasn't been expanding nearly enough. But okay, it is possible to go here, to cross without going through ocean, apparently. And I believe since we're so far ahead in points, these guys will be peaceful if we don't attack them. So that's the thing we could do, but I would rather just demolish them and take all their stuff, right? It's a pretty normal civilization thing to do. What else can I do that's productive? I could like burn this down and put a farm there, but that's only 3 population. I'm still like 4 away from growing the city, and I don't really want to invest any more in it. I should work up here, right? Yeah, that seems good. But certainly by using such a small map, I have maybe made this game look a little bit more repetitive than it necessarily is. I mean, I don't know. It is there are civilization-like decisions to be made here, but it's kind of all on a smaller scale. What else do we want? Do we need whaling? Yeah, I wouldn't mind whaling. Actually, so each whale is just a consumable resource that gives you 10 stars. And right now it costs me more than 10 to research whaling, so it's like maybe not such a great idea. I only have 1 whale. And no obvious way that I'm going to get more anytime soon. But of course, if I wait, it'll cost even more, and like eventually I might possibly want this. Lets me build water temples, and my units are better defended when they're on the ocean. I think we'll just take navigation, though, to get across this dang ocean. And anything else? It's kind of hard to find stuff to do at the moment. I guess I should be building more units. Like, let's build a mine bender. I don't know how they work. Seems fun. Or a rider to explore. It doesn't explore their area much more quickly because you still have to reveal it all. Alright, let's just train one of these guys. They have swordsmen, by the way, which is pretty strong. As we have previously discussed. Does a ship... It does move faster, I guess. The boat only has 2 movement, and we could, like, you know, we could explore a bit better. But as soon as you get off the ship, it, like, disappears, and the fact that it was a ship instead of a boat is, like, just wasted resources. Unless the ability to explore more quickly was useful to you. But they're also useful for, like, aerial, or not, for coastal bombardment, so to speak. Right? Boats and ships have ranged attacks. And the larger ones have more powerful attacks. Okay, I mean... we could learn whaling or archery. Doesn't really seem that important. And I don't think there's anything we can usefully do to our cities at the moment. This is a good turn to build temples, actually. Turn 18 is the latest you can build a temple and still have it develop to full maturity by the end of the game. So we could consider, like, just dropping a temple here, where it will be worth points and also make the city a bit bigger. I think I'll go for it. Anywhere else that a temple would be particularly useful? Not really. Excuse me? What is this? Did I put a lumber hut there? Okay, I don't remember doing that, but I believe it. It must have happened. I guess it was just a convenient way to finish off this city, but it still seems kind of weird compared to building a road, right? Oh, that's an interesting point. Is that like a pair of explorers can actually kind of move at speed 2? Because one of them, they leapfrog each other to reveal the area ahead and let the other one move too? I never thought about that. That's an interesting, like, pairing riders could be a kind of neat thing you could do to explore more quickly. I kind of want to just explore more rather than like try to immediately take them over, but I don't know, I have a mind bender, I guess I could. Okay, and we were looking at, I don't know, anything? We just wanted to build some temples this turn, right? Where could I build temples that would be useful? Flarkfla could use 2 points worth of stuff. And really has no obvious way to get them except through temples, so that's nice, I guess. Oh, a forge. Oh yeah, look at that. There's a mine here, and I could put a mine there. So actually a forge here is fine. Finishes off, or here rather, finishes off the town. And then I can still build temples in the area later if I want. But this forge will benefit from building this mine, if I ever do it. Okay. Linro doesn't have a forge yet, right? Maybe I should have done that first. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm running out of money to build temples. I never did, like, actualize this whole idea of turning this into a lumber mill area. Let's just chop... Well, no, this forest is in a useful place, because if I want to, I can burn it down and crop next to a windmill. So let's start chopping this down if I can make use of it. And right now, it letting me build 2 temples instead of 1 is a pretty big advantage. I'll put a temple... I'll put 2 temples here. Oh, hang on. This is an insane spot for a windmill, isn't it? Okay, temple here then. Windmill, I guess, here, and I'm not getting the... I don't really need my borders any bigger. Now I can't build the last temple. Oh well. Let's maybe connect up with roads? To the capital, please? So I can't build a road here, right? Right. There's a wild animal there all this time. I never noticed. So my capital got a fair bit bigger there, and these cities each did by 1. But I don't have any way to make them just like that last notch bigger just yet. A temple here actually would go to this city. Whoops. Okay. Well, I guess this city's not really growing anymore, huh? Dumb place to put a temple. Okay, turn done. Let's see what was in the ruins. Okay, an explorer. That's useful, I guess. So as you can see, it really does reveal quite a lot of land. And by the way, we can see that our opponent we each have 8 cities. I sort of thought they hadn't expanded enough, but I guess what's happened is they hadn't grown their cities enough. Like, this is only level 2. Look at all this unexplored land near you. What the heck is going on? Okay. There's not fog of war, is there? These cities are actually not guarded? Yeah, okay. Interesting. I don't imagine they'll let me just walk in. But it would be nice to try. Ah! I clicked the wrong place. I meant to click on this boat, but it moved this one. I also wouldn't mind if the movement controls were, like, a little bit, I don't know if polished is really the right word. But if like it was easier to do what I intend instead of not what I intend, seems like not that high a bar. But I sometimes make accidental moves, and like I don't know, in Civ, for example, you have to make like right click to make a move, and that's different from left click, which is how you do everything else. And so you end up like making the moves you meant to most of the time. Here, like something pops up, and you try to get rid of it, but you accidentally click or whatever. I could attack this guy, but there's no sense antagonizing them yet. I kind of want to launch an assault all at once. Oh, you know what? Now's probably a good time to learn math. Now that I care about catapults, finally. Let's build one here. Catapults have a range of 3, so they can attack from up to 3 tiles away, which is really, really far in a square grid system. Like this catapult here, 1, 2, 3, can see this city. And enemies are allowed to attack back only if, A, they survive the first attack. If the defender survives the attack, it gets to retaliate. But it also has to be within range. So obviously, like, a swordsman can't retaliate against a catapult, but maybe somewhat surprisingly, an archer can retaliate against an archer. Or indeed against a swordsman that attacks it in melee range. Yeah, you're allowed to bombard, but I don't really want to. Where's their capital? Have we seen it yet? It's like... I thought it would be opposite of the map from me, but it seems to have been down here, actually. Because these don't look like capital cities. Actually, it would even tell me it's not a capital. And I think you always start in a corner, so it should be around here. This long border sort of suggests it as well. Anything else I want from my tech tree? Trade is not that important. I don't know. Not really. I'm content. What I really should be doing is training more units and maybe building more ports. This is the first time I've had to wage like a large-scale naval war. Naval offensive. And just having more ports to funnel more units through could be something. But like, where do you even put them? I want to go over here, but there's no easy way to get there. Like, this is my best port, huh? And I could maybe... Oh my gosh, I have knights. I forgot about knights. They get a lot of attack. I don't even know, guys. There's so many choices. Let's grab some swordsmen, just generally flexible units. And it's illegal to put a road here, right? But I can at least put a road here. Oh, you can still move, huh? Well, let's go exploring. What is that? A rider? Yeah. I understand they're supposed to somehow be like... Ah, I see. This halo indicates they see themselves as an ally of me. They're not interested in conflict if they can avoid it. So we do get like a surprise assault as long as I believe trespassing in their land also annoys them, but maybe not as much as some other things. So we might get a turn or two to prepare. We'll see. I think we're about done for the turn. No, let's build more units. We want to make use of this port, right? These ports. Maybe another port here for my northern cities to use. Oh, also I didn't need to connect up like this. I could have used a port. Interesting. Huh. And where? Oh, I don't have enough stars to build any more units. So first of all, we want this guy going here. Exploring the ruins is a higher priority than like assaulting their home world, so to speak. And right now, I just want to set up some units in this area. I don't have very good units up here, to be honest. It's really only going to be new ones that'll do anything impressive. Maybe I use the warriors as like bombardment support. Probably upgrade them ships, in fact. I could leave the catapult here. But a catapult here can still reach the city. And that means I can still train more units. You can't train units in a city if there's already a unit there. Yeah, let's grab another catapult, I guess. For siege. More units here. We probably want some knights, I guess. And another mindbender? I don't know. I don't know how to do war. I don't really need any of this junk. Still. It would just be like unlocking more places to put temples down. Oh, actually trade? I didn't like think ahead and put two ports next to each other anywhere, so it wouldn't be a very good custom house. Do you get anything else for trade? You get a monument for collecting 100 stars. I guess that's worth something. But I don't want it right now. I can always build that monument later. Right now I want my stars to go towards military units. I don't know, swordsman? Why didn't I train here? Mindbender. Okay. You're attacking me! That's not allowed. I'm not up in your territory anywhere. Am I? I don't think so. Yeah. I thought they weren't supposed to do that. Maybe I'm close enough that they got upset? I don't really understand the rules. We learned archery. Okay. Well, I don't really plan to build many archers, but it's good to have. And, excuse me. And it does mean that we get... So there's a number of technologies that give you defense bonuses in particular terrain. Archery gives you defense in forests, and that could be helpful here somehow or other. All right, let's begin the assault here, though, since they apparently declared war without me. And they lack any ranged units, so that should be exciting. Let's just take out the swordsmen. They're the like large ones. And then upgrade these things to more powerful ship types. Or at least some of them. Some of them I want handy to actually take over the cities. But as long as they stand back, we can just kind of pelt them from afar with no repercussions. There's actually a boat here. That's exciting. Well, let's upgrade this. Oh, you can see. I forgot these things see further as well. That's nice. So let's back off so none of the land units can get us. And honestly, if this boat wants to shoot me, it can. This is kind of a dumb way to like do things, because now I've spent a bunch on the Mindbender, i.e. 5 stars, but I've also spent a bunch on the battleship, and if I leave the battleship, I lose the Mindbender, so I only have... This guy might as well be a warrior now, and I kind of feel dumb about it, but here we are. What else is going on? I want to put this guy in a boat. This guy in a boat. That's a long walk, but he can manage it apparently. Good place for riders, huh? Or knights. Is he a knight? He's a knight. That makes more sense. Oh, I took the Mindbender's boat. Sorry, buddy. Well, you know what? Let's just put another port in. Here. I still can't reach. I'm dumb. I should have put it here and put a road there. I didn't realize this was quite as far away as it is. My knight can't get there, huh? Alright, well, we'll go here. I seem to kind of have, like, enough units at the moment, huh? Yeah, not the best use of your resources. They're doing well defending over here, though. Alright, catapults away. That's that taken care of. Drop in a warrior. These knights are... Oh, they're riders. Oh yeah, I can't get back on the boat. There's no port here. Well, this is not going great. We're gonna lose these guys, but let's, Oh! Wow, I actually dealt enough damage to finish that guy off. Okay, let's stay away from the swordsman and go... here? Sure, that gives me a line of retreat. Drop off a knight. And I guess we'll keep bombarding these guys, although it's kind of awkward because there's no place to stand where I can... Or I guess here I can reach someone without being in range of the shore, huh? Ooh, and we discovered more stuff. Is this their capital? It looks kind of big. No. With another boat, who cares? Let's just blow up a rider. There you go. This is a warrior. You know what I really should be doing is just upgrading any ship that has a warrior in it. And treating those as like just buying battleships. Anything that doesn't... I should be... The capital's down here. Oh, is that a swordsman in a boat? Oh, let's kill that. Oh, it lived! Swordsmen have more health, I forgot. Very, very clever. Even when they're in boats, apparently. You have moves. You are a boat with a swordsman, so we'll just go deposit you. Anyway, we're kind of crushing the opponent here, which is not a surprise, I guess? I did put them on hard, right? I don't know. We have mind reader turns left. Let's go here. Probably want to head over this way, right? This catapult still has moves, but no one to assault. Probably I better get it into their territory, huh? The battleship can't reach anyone? It is sort of heavily damaged. Let's rest. And I guess since I don't really want any more units at the moment, let's put down some temples, preferably forest temples. They're the cheapest ones. The only ones that are cheaper... Oh, I didn't actually learn spiritualism, huh? Well, whatever, I'll go for it. I should put down enough temples over the course of the game that this will be... Buying cheaper ones will pay off. Yeah, so they're filling up their... So the way combat or city capturing works is the same as those villages. You have to have a unit in it at the start of your turn, and then you can take it. Okay, what's the deal here? So actually, I want to see how these knights work. If you attack, you kill someone, you're allowed to attack again. But are you allowed to move again? I don't quite know. So let's find that out now in a safe environment. No. Only attack. Interesting. Alright. So we'll swing the battleships up here to help out. With this area. Gate of Power. Amazing. Who needs 3 more... Linro's kind of packed, huh? We could put it in this city. It's probably a good idea. Once we own it, of course. My other catapult is loaded up somewhere, isn't it? No. Yes, here it is. Let's drop it just... here? The warrior needs to rest. Mindbender wants to go ashore. Place swordsman here to deter them from getting to my knight so easily. Although actually that's not going to work. I should maybe have not captured with the knight because he has very low defense and now he's stuck in the city. I can't put anyone else there. This battleship can't really help at all from here, can it? Let's bring it over here to help out in this area later, though. Oh, I do get a shot. Nice. See you later, dummy. My knight should survive a single rider attack, no problem. You know what? If this swordsman wants to keep attacking me, he can. Actually, they might not be smart enough to go in the water. No, he can get here and still shoot me. There's someone in here, isn't there? Yeah, a knight. I don't know if you can... You can't attack after getting off a boat, can you? I don't think so. Excuse me, why can this catapult not get into a boat? Oh, he's not on a road, I see. Well, we'll just put one in. Yeah, run away. Don't die. So I mentioned, like, this has been a drastically, like, disgustingly easy game. And I don't generally condone such games where you're just like, I don't know. It's kind of fun to be like, wow, I crushed the computer, but if they're not putting up a fight, it's not really that impressive. At least with, like, 3 opponents, I found they were putting up a fight. I never actually finished a game because it was like, oh, things started to go kind of badly for me, and I rage quit. It's not clear, like, maybe I could have salvaged the situation. Probably I could have. But it is kind of more exciting, or more like rewarding in a way. That's also the wrong word. More ego stoking to have things go well the whole way through. But in this game, we are kind of getting the... Where do I need another, like, temple? Up here? Ah. There you go. We'll put a temple there. Or wait. That's still part of this city. I keep forgetting. There's literally nowhere here I can do anything. I just want to put a temple down somewhere where it's sort of useful, and there isn't really any such place. Okay. I mean, here. Maybe I'll eventually do enough with this. Put like a lumber mill here, I guess, would be a lot. A sawmill is 3 population, and then we're only 2 away. Yeah, that could happen, I guess. Maybe, maybe not. Let's just put a temple. Oh, I only have 6 stars. Great. Yeah, so they took out my swordsman, but it wasn't enough to defend the city. And now we get the home terrain advantage here instead of them, right? You get more health when you skip turns, you get more defense in the city. Nice stuff like that. So, what does this guy do? Oh wow, he gets to heal? I missed that. Cool. You can also convert enemies by attacking them. So, like, what happens if I say that I want... No, he can't do that after... Oh, right. I should have read... He doesn't have the dash ability, which is that he can still do something after moving. Okay. So he's kind of a slow unit like a catapult. That's why he's so difficult to... That's why he can afford to be so powerful. He's... in many situations can't be used. Okay. Well, let's take this guy out then. Actually, they have enough defense. I don't think a rider is going to kill him. Oh my god, a knight is just going to go through these riders like nothing. Look at that. That's disgusting. He's got promoted twice. So what does promoting do exactly? I think it gives you 5 more total health or max health. And also refills your health to its max. So in fact, if I just bombard this city... Oh. I didn't think he would survive. I thought I'd be able to get the knight in there. But now that he has to move instead of attacking, he's just too tired suddenly. Okay. Alright. And as we've discussed, they're really not putting up any kind of a fight. Which is too bad. But remember, the goal of the game is not really to win. Unless you're playing on domination mode, but we're not. We're playing on score mode. So you still, like, there's something going on here. You want to maximize your score is what you should be working on. Is this swordsman? Let's just drop him off, I guess. Who else can still move? This guy. It's too bad I ran away. I could use him now to capture the town. Okay, and like tech, I don't really want anything, so let's put down some temples. We'll just start putting them down around Orgorfla, and eventually it'll have enough to grow. Let's put it down in fact, the forest where it's cheaper first. Oh yeah, Gate of Power. We could do that, huh? I'll put it down here. Oh, no. We were going to put it over here. I forgot about this place. This is the best place to be investing by far. Because it's so cheap to make it better. And what is this? Just a bunch of forest? I don't know. We'll put the gate of power in. I don't think we'll need a wall. We should be smashing them. Okay, back to temples. Okay, seems like an okay turn. So what is this? Is this a knight? No, it's a rider. But it has some defense because it's standing in a city, right? Still, this guy's attack is 4, and the knight's is, I think, 3.5. So he should be able to kill this if that guy could kill it, right? So let's just march in here and see how it goes. Yeah. Oh my god, knights just churn through small attack units like crazy. I was not aware of this feature. Or how useful it was, anyway. My poor Mindbender just, like, isn't even doing anything. I probably should have landed one of these warriors so that I could actually... Oh, I can just march in with a knight? He's so fast! Look at him go! Huh. Well, I guess just sort of try to march everyone in the general direction of the enemy and hope for the best. And you can't really do anything on a boat anymore, so let's just... it'll dismantle your battleships. That's, I mean, yeah, it will, but, like, what am I gonna do? I guess I could bring them around this way. It's not that long a walk. A trip. I could actually just build enough temples in here eventually. Like, not immediately, but... It seems like a better use of my resources than more military units that I don't need. Knights are very bad on defense, though, so they're not great for capturing cities. I could just kill both of these guys, but I don't want to, because then I would leave the city. So we're gonna have, I guess, these guys do it? These dang boats. The swordsmen in boats are kind of annoying. Let's grab the city anyway. And this one? I guess I should have maybe like finished all the technologies and then I could get the genius monument, but I don't want to spend all those stars on technologies when I could have spent them on temples, right? Now this knight is having a bad day. He needs to get like over here, where the Mindbender can fix him up somehow. I don't totally understand the rules there. Oh, they're gonna actually threaten to take the city back. That's sort of okay, I guess. Anyway, let's see how this healing works. Okay, so they heal for 4, apparently. Okay. There. Now, the swordsman couldn't retaliate against that, but now he's damaged enough that he'll die when we shoot him again. So he won't retaliate against this either. Well, we did enough damage to kill him in one go this time. Oh well. That's the only one this catapult can reach. No one here seems to be damaged. Let's just move in. And we're not really damaged enough to worry about that swordsman in a boat. Oh, we sunk him anyway. Okay. Let's get back to building temples here. I don't think we really need more borders. I kind of built everything I need to here, except for these last two temples. This is like not an efficient way to do things. I should be working on this city. Where I can sort of more cheaply get some population. And population is worth score, so I think it's more efficient than just plopping down temples, but I'm not sure. This town is... I probably by the end of the game will not own all of the cities. I don't have enough material over here to hold on to it, honestly. And I don't seem to be even making any steps in that direction, which is a bit stupid. Let's just heal, and next turn I'll swing in to bombard the city again, which I assume they will have taken from me, kind of irritatingly. It's obviously my own fault. Okay, that's enough for this turn. I said we were going to do this in multiple videos, but I guess we're not. Enough of my turns were quick because of there being no enemies, so we got to the end of the game relatively quickly. Okay, so what happens if I just, like, take that guy? He's mine. That's what happens. Okay, good to know. I mean, not a surprise necessarily, but it basically means as long as this Mindbender is here, they cannot possibly capture the city, because I'll just keep flipping the guy in it. It's kind of cute. That city is like a problem, though. Hang on. We were going to move this guy in, right? If I had another knight, I could get in there and take it, but I don't have anyone who can get there fast enough. Might as well promote. Actually, that was the worst guy to attack, because my warrior could have probably finished him off. I want to get my Mindbender in this area, but if I do, he'll be attacked by the swordsman and probably die. I don't quite understand how to use them. They're very complicated units. I don't know, I'll put a temple in here and mine some stuff. A city wall will help, I guess. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I maybe should have done that here before they got in. I'm not building a wall now that they own the city, though. Or, I mean, they're going to own the city shortly. I'm not going to get it back in the immediate term. Oh, these guys can still attack, huh? Okay. I mean, combat seems to be going just fine, as you would expect. We have a devastating technological and numerical advantage here. I don't know, we'll go up here and see if they're smart enough to attack me, I guess. And in the meantime, we'll just keep increasing the city's usefulness. Doing all the things they should have done for it, but didn't. Where can I put another temple that's useful? We wanted one up here, didn't we? Cool. And that'll be the turn. Yeah, obviously riders are not very good at maintaining hold of cities. Oh wow, they didn't manage to kill my mind bender? Why didn't they capture the city? They decided to attack instead, and so it's actually still my city. That's quite remarkable. Okay, I'll take this unit then. Actually, do I even want that guy? Maybe I should just kill him with this. I should, in fact. Because then I can build a unit that's actually good at defending. A swordsman would be fine, but... Oh, I was going to build a defender, but we didn't research defending. Okay, I'll just build a swordsman. It's like a better defender that costs a bit more. A defender is as good as a swordsman when defending, but pretty awful when attacking. I guess I'll just take this guy. Seems good. And I'll take this guy. Oh, right, that's why I ended up with a rider there, is that I just converted the guy they were trying to take the city with instead of actually killing him. Well, that's maybe not the best play. Oh, you can just sail on in, huh? I mean, it's a warrior. I'm turning a battleship into a warrior, but right now I need the warrior, so... Cool. This guy can still move. It might actually be faster to get on a boat than to walk all the way down here. Actually, if I build a road... Ugh, dang it, I wanted to switch to building and not moving. Yeah, it does connect up to the port, so it connects everything. Alright. So what I should have done a while ago, maybe, was build roads into this area. To make it easier to conquer. And I guess now I should work on that wall, right? I don't know, the swordsman can hold them off pretty much forever, I feel like. But do I need the resources for anything? It's only 5, right? The city wall is insurance that's relatively cheap to buy. And build some temples. And this mine ought to grow the city again? Yeah. Don't really need the border growth much, do I? Nah. Well, I don't need the population for almost anything. And border growth, you get points for having stuff in your territories. This thing is worth more points. And it gives me more places to put forest temples, so sure. Incredibly, they seem to not have managed to clear out either of these two cities of the invading forces. And this is the final turn of the game, right? No. 29 out of 30. Okay, let's take this city. Port's connected up, that's nice. And this one... Oh, I already had this one. That was just an upgrade, or a promotion. Let's grab this one. I have this rider from taking over their rider. Let's smash this guy, and now we can actually move more into their territory, explore more. See more what's going on. We're not going to be able to get this town before the game is over. So the enemy will have a couple of things left, and I won't have gotten to explore the whole map either, which is too bad. But that's life. We're obviously in a commanding position. Not through any particular display of skill, of course. Oh, that guy's been upgraded all, so he's healthy again. I don't know, just go hang out in town. You, I don't even know. I should work on upgrading this town, right? We want to get to level 5? What is here? Oh, there's a forest temple. Oh, the pink thing on top was confusing me. I see. I'm still using their art style, even though after I take their cities. I didn't think about that. Okay. Can I even get that city bigger? Not easily. This one's not too bad. Let's put a farm in here, and we can put a pretty nice windmill in. I mean, an okay windmill. Where are we putting future temples? I really wish I had gotten this just the tiniest bit bigger, but there's not really anything I can do. It owns so little land. I mean, I could burn down the lumber hut, then burn the forest into a crop, and then build a farm. That cost me 10 stars. I guess it's actually worth it. I should have done it a while ago. I was just like so like not used to the idea of burning down buildings. It's worth it for the park. If I'd done it a while ago, I'd be getting the income as well. Which would be an improvement, obviously. So is this all connected up to my capital? I believe it is. So the capital's pretty large, but... Well, it's only 4 more to make it larger. I think I can manage that. I have plenty of space. We'll just start plopping temples in here. Oh, and this guy, that's right, I forgot. I can actually move this guy out because he attacked. Or no, he didn't. He just survived a bunch of attacks. We'll just heal him. Whatever. I already made everyone else move, so there's no space for someone better to guard the city. Who can still move? This guy? I don't really want him to move, but I guess I'll come in here? Nah, just hang out in the city. Make sure that it doesn't get taken away at the end. This warrior is out of actions. Okay, we'll end the turn. Oh! They got me. But it is the last turn, so I don't think they'll be able to actually take it, even if they somehow survive, which they shouldn't. Right, I can just blow them up. Actually, let's leave this for my other units, since I should be able to handle it without this guy. Well, I don't have anyone who's very close, do I? Like, I guess a rider could march in, or I don't have any knights in range. Okay, I guess we will do it this way. There you go. Take that. How do you like them apples? Etc. Why only 2? I'm in my own territory. Shouldn't it be 4? I don't totally understand that. There we go. One last park. And I don't think there's any particular advantage to killing enemies. You probably do get points for it, but there's not any that's easy to kill at the moment. I could attack this guy, I guess. I don't think I would win. And you do gain points for having more units left alive, so I'm not so keen to risk any units on questionable attacks. Like I don't have enough resources to take out this swordsman right now, so why throw units at him? A swordsman fortified in a city, you need a lot of like catapult-like stuff to get him. So I think everyone just kind of retreats, basically, is the idea. I don't know if the enemy even gets another turn. They might not. It's a mystery. You don't get anything for having stars left around, though, so I might as well grab Whaling, finally. And that gives me enough to unlock another tech. You don't get many points, but you get a few. I don't know, maybe instead of some of these temples, I think if I'd cut enough temples, I could have grabbed the last 2 techs. And that would be worth like 400 points, which is better than the park I got. But you also get 100 points per temple, so I'm not sure how it would have come out in the end. Anyway, we've reached the end of time. That was the game. Kind of a smash, but I think if you play on hard and it's your first time playing, or even if it's not, and you pick like 3 opponents, it'll be a reasonable challenge, and you get to like look at your high score. This was not close to my high score, I think, because I set a fairly meager challenge of just 1 opponent, even though I really quite dominated them. You know, I got 31,000 there, and in I think of these guys where my high score is. Yeah, 37? No. Okay, must be the Kiku is... I have 44 something, right? Yeah. So, kind of a game where there's always little things you can improve. And if you're looking for something that feels a bit like Civ, but is a bit more like small scale and tactical and simple and short term, I don't know. It's worth a try. I had fun with it. I don't regret spending 15 bucks on it. I'm not sure how much more I'll play it, but probably some. Anyway, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.